1 Corinthians 1 verse 18. For the preaching of the cross is to them that perish foolishness, but unto us which are saved it is the power of God. Many lost people don't want to hear the gospel, because they are lost. The gospel convicts them of their sin, and they don't like that. As Christians, we are commanded by God to lead the lost to Him through the preaching of the gospel only. We are not to go outside of God's command by telling people to try Jesus, or by trying to get people to have a spiritual experience or encounter with God by telling them something like, just ask God to reveal Himself to you. That is very dangerous and opens the door for deception through demonic experiences, because if someone rejects the gospel, they are not sincerely seeking God. And the true God will probably not be the one answering their prayer for an encounter, especially since the person will probably not even pray in the name of Jesus. Even Christians must pray in the name of Jesus to get their prayers answered. See John 16 verses 23 to 24 and John 14 verse 6. God has already revealed Himself to the lost through nature, through His Word, and by you living a holy life and telling them the gospel. Now, God is not limited. Sometimes God does reveal Himself supernaturally to some people, but when He does, He makes an immediate point to lead them to believing the gospel, not to prove His existence, or do a miracle for them, or to make them feel good about themselves. However, just because God on rare occasions decides to lead people to Himself that way, does not mean that we are allowed to tell people to seek an encounter like that with God. God commands us to preach the gospel and persuade people to get truly saved, not to encourage people to have an encounter with God, or a spiritual experience. See Mark 16 verse 15 and 2 Corinthians 5 verse 11. Many people will reject the gospel and end up in hell, but that is on them. That is their fault. God is going to judge us on how faithfully we shared the gospel with them. See Ezekiel 33 verse 8. I have written out a short explanation of the gospel below in the description of this video that you can copy and share with others in any format, and you do not have to give me any credit.